Health emergencies can be a great distraction to your company's activities. But with Apex Health Insurance, your employees will have immediate access to quality health service for themselves and their dependents. Ensuring your employees and their dependents to get them back to work healthier and stress-free like they never left. Think health, think Apex.
Financial protection for yourself, businesses, and properties remain a few of the major concerns for hardworking people like you. That is exactly why having insurance is so important. Don't we all wish for the ability to keep our expenses at the bare minimum while attaining maximum benefits? This is where KEK as your insurance broker comes in. Unfortunately, there is a common misconception that hiring a broker will drive up your insurance costs. This is just a myth. Let's debunk some of these insurance myths, shall we? 1. You have to pay insurance brokers for their services. That's not true. You do not have to pay any special fees when you use KEK as your insurance broker. Broker fees are fixed in premium quotations, and this is the way it is done all over the world. In fact, we rather work to reduce the premiums you have to pay due to our world-class negotiation skills. 2. You can do a better job managing your insurance. We at KEK Insurance Brokers are specialists who have in-depth understanding of the insurance market. We are experts in the insurance business, and we pass on this extensive knowledge and expertise to the client through competitive pricing, claims management, and the general administration of policies. So get insured today. Let KEK be the one to help you. You can reach us via social media handles or visit our offices at KEK Insurance Broking House, number 40/41 Senchi Street at Aviation Road, Airport Residential Area, Accra.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining today's episode of SEDAT HR Digest. SEDAT HR Digest is brought to you by SEDAT Consult, your trusted HR partner. I'm Evelyn Iraja Jumbo, and I'm excited to guide you through today's important topic. And our services for SEDAT HR is that we are HR support, advisory, and outsourcing, talent acquisition and management, staff outsourcing, compensation and benefits management, employee engagement, training and development, payroll outsourcing, recruitment and executive search, event management, and ushering services. We are glad you joined us. Kindly introduce yourself and wherever you are watching us from in the comment section, and I'll be honored to acknowledge you. Thank you so much. On today's topic, it will be treated detailed deeply on the 21st of March for the upcoming HR conference. And if you've been following, you've been treating HR well-being, employee well-being for some time now. Last week we spoke about a 360 approach to supporting the employee as a whole, and today's topic is beyond compliance, embedding employee well-being into organizational culture. In today's workplace, employee well-being is one of the major key driver of organizational culture. And personally, I am curious to find out from our guests today how companies or organizations can inculcate the employee well-being culture into the organization. And this session will last for about an hour. Kindly feel free to put in your comments, your perspective, and your ideas, and we'll be glad to read them all. We have no other person to do this with us. Our guest is a very special person. She's been in the industry for some time now, and she's in the person of Mrs. Emmeline. Emmeline is an experienced HR strategist and leadership coach with over 13 years in HR across various sectors, including aviation, oil and gas. She's also the founder and lead consultant of ICS Africa Limited, offering management consulting and corporate event management. In fact, she has a tall list of profile, and if we are to say them all, we might never leave here. So, madam, you are welcome to join us, Madam Emmeline.
Thank you very much, Evelyn. It's a pleasure to be here again after a very long time.
Yes, yes, you are welcome. How has your week been?
Oh, by God's grace, it's God has seen us through. We've landed another week, so we are hopeful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, in your opinion, how would you define employee well-being, and what aspects of well-being are most critical to prioritize?
Sorry, my little girl came in. I was trying to let her to leave so that I cannot be distracted.
Okay,
Um, please ask a question again. Thank you.
yes. So, I was asking that, in your opinion, how would you define employee well-being, and what aspects of well-being are most critical to prioritize?
Okay, so everybody listens or hears the word well-being, and the first thing that comes to their mind is the physical bit, right? Are
Yes.
you healthy? Are you sick? Hope you don't have any illness and what have you. But that is actually one aspect of employee well-being. Employee well-being is actually the holistic. It comprises holistic of your mental, of yourself. So looking at employee well-being, it refers to the total composition of your mental, physical, emotional, and social health of your employees, extending beyond merely preventing illnesses, but placing emphasis on fostering a very positive work environment that encourages what we call happiness. You know, we hear the word happiness, but even in HR, happiness is also a factor,
Oh, okay.
engagement, and then a sense of fulfillment among staff members. So in totality, that is what the well-being is. At the end of the day, the health of your employee is beyond just
Much
physical. It
more.
has to be
Yes.
mental, it has to be emotional, social, and that you can see the results from the level of joy your employees have, how engaged they are on the job, and how fulfilled they are in their career, which they are using to serve the organizational goals.
Okay. Okay. So
So
I
now
would
you
like.
ask key
Mm-hmm.
aspects or important aspects of it. So
Yes.
we were looking at the critical priorities. Number one, which is the narrative these days, your mental health. Okay, it's very
Okay.
important that we place priority on the mental health of our staff, and then the old but gold concept, work-life balance. This is
Okay.
something that I'm surprised a lot of employees are still struggling with. Okay, very
Mm.
very key. To it was important yesterday, it's important today, and of course physical health. Okay, very important that you have healthy habits. If you go to some companies, the employee furniture they use is a health hazard for the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Very very important that the furniture, the equipment you use don't pose health hazard to your team. And of course, the all popular work culture,
Mm.
positive work culture. You must prioritize this for mental health, work-life balance, physical health of your team, and a positive work culture.
Okay. Wow. So meaning all these things that you have listed, it has to start from the top management to the employees,
At the end
right?
of the day, if your leader is not okay, employees can never be okay. It's like I tell people, I like to use this analogy that by Simon Sinek. He says leadership is like motherhood,
Mm-hmm.
right? You are
Mm-hmm.
nurturing other leaders,
Yes.
okay? You
Yes.
see yourself, and if the mother is not okay, how would the child be okay? You know, gone are
Yes.
those days where we used to feel you sacrifice your life. You know, you have to kill yourself for your children. No, if you die, who will take care of those kids? You
Mm.
know, so as a leader, your health matters, your mental health, your well-being matters as a leader. So take care of yourself, they can take care of your staff. I tell you, Vivian or Evelyn,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I tell you today, the reason why a lot of toxic environments exist is because the leaders are traumatized. They have personal trauma, personal mental health issues they have not dealt with, and then they now begin to, act according to how they feel. And
Mm-hmm.
then you see that the toxicity is spread across. So when the leader feels a sense of worthlessness, he passes it on. And you see
Yeah.
an employee who hasn't done something. My boss doesn't say anything right what I do. He's always complaining about everything I do. That leader is unwell. So
Yes.
let's not just focus on the subordinates. Let's look at the strategic leaders, the strategic, thinkers of the organization. It has to start from there. Very important. If not, whatever you do for the employees will be a waste of time.
That's very true. That's very true. Your answer even gave me the reason why. Because somebody will ask, why should I embed employee well-being into my organization? But you have even explained it well. So can you please tell us about the strategies that organization can use to embed employee well-being into their culture beyond the
Oh, okay.
compliance or beyond the policies that we all know? If there are strategies that the organization can employ into their organizational culture.
Yes. So first of all, leadership commitment. If
Okay.
leaders don't show that they are concerned about wellness and well-being of their employees, it's not going to happen. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I said it must start from them. A happy leader, happy employees, automatic. And
Yes.
obviously, you must also involve your employees in deciding the kind of well-being, system you have in your organization. Don't just say, oh, well-being, well-being, well-being. Okay, let's just go and get what the well-being packages are. You get an EAP service provider, come and provide service for my team without even engaging your team. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work like that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, work-life balance. You can't take it away from it. When you
Okay.
hear the word well-being, work-life balance is the very core of it. Okay.
Mm.
And
Okay.
obviously the old but gold the system of HR practice, recognition and rewards. You can't stop it. Are you aware training and development also is a strategy? Because
Mm-hmm.
when your employees are given personal and professional growth opportunities, they're okay mentally,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then in the midst of all of this, make sure the environment, I said it earlier, is positive. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
training development, a positive work environment, recognition and rewards, work-life balance, employee involvement, and leadership commitment.
Madam, please don't say all because you will be saying the HR program. That is why you'll be talking more of the about the program.
Don't
So please,
worry, there's always more. If you when
let's
you read the Bible, the same chapter doesn't mean the same thing tomorrow.
say tomorrow, of course. We've had Zakaria Salamat joining us. Good evening, Zakaria. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, madam. So moving on. So what role can leaders and managers play in promoting employee well-being, and what support do they need? Because I believe the managers also need some kind of support, right?
Very, very, very much so.
Yeah.
So leaders and managers play one role, exemplary. I mean,
Okay.
if you want to promote well-being, you have to be an example.
Yes.
And
Yes.
my brother works with Newmont, and there's this one of the challenges they did, the health challenge, and they gave everybody a target to get. So they used the health watches, so the number of and the cardio you burn and all of those things, and it starts from the leadership. So
Okay.
once leaders, role model these things, it will pass on. So you see some
Yes.
companies, they do health walks, they have games, employee games, and all of those things, team bonding activities, and all of that. All of those things very important. And
Very.
please, leaders, let's exhibit open communication.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay,
very
your,
important.
your employees should not be afraid to speak their mind respectfully. We beg, please. Let us encourage an environment where employees feel comfortable discussing how they feel. Hey, you see, employees are the employee is sick, oh, the employee is not well, but the person is afraid of telling the boss. Can you
Telling them.
imagine that? No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no,
Why?
no, no, no. It cannot help. Mm-mm. And then they need to provide access to these well-being solutions. So obviously, connect or subscribe to an AP service provider. And I want to recommend my company, Supreme Healthcare Management Services. We're the leading EAP service providers in the country. So please Look for us on social media and contact us. We'll sort you out value for money. Okay, please. So connect them to a very, very, very trustworthy service provider that can provide them EAP support services. And also, even as a leader, please train your leaders to listen to their employees. We deal with some employees who cannot even trust their bosses with their problems. No, don't just dump them to an EAP service provider. They don't work with us. Evelyn, they don't work with us. It has to start with your team leaders. But because of the level of confidentiality, that is why and in the expertise, we ask for them to what? EAP service providers who have trained counselors and coaches to help the team. You understand? And of course, because of work, you cannot add that to your job if not to affect productivity. So please, leaders must show concern. Say, oh, Evelyn, I've heard you. You know what? Kindly go and take advantage of our EAP, service provider and give me feedback on how you are doing. That's all.
Yeah.
Evelyn, how are you doing today? Is there something you want to discuss? Are you okay? You see, you need to be able to encourage your team to have what we call mental health breaks. There are times when you're not sick physically, but mentally you're not okay. And that happens more often than having physical illness. And those things even cause physical illness. So please, when you see your staff comes to work is frowning the face, the person looks like he wants to cry, the person looks like the world is over, call them and say, what's going on? Look well, that's not you. What's happening? Talk to me. You don't have to tell me that if it's too private, don't tell, but let me know. Is there anything I can help you with? I'm here to listen. It's very important. And please learn to acknowledge your employees' contribution. Those things matter a lot. Okay, when they do well, oh, you've done well, Evelyn. Echo, Mo, keep doing it, keep going. We are rooting for you. You understand me? Aha. And obviously, supporting their professional growth. When was the last time you had a career improvement discussion or career planning discussion with your team? When last did you have that conversation? Don't wait for HR to give you a schedule. Be concerned about your team, because when your team wins, your department will win automatically. So well-being is not difficult at all. It takes an authentic, caring leader to promote employee well-being in an organization. That is why my company will do what we call the Authentic Caring Employer awards every 2 years. We're having one this year again. We recognize companies that pay attention to the well-being of the organization, because you see, it's very important for this nation. A nation whose employees are doing well is a nation with a very fast-growing GDP. I tell you, because everybody is focused on productivity. You understand me? So we are even from government level. Government level, we ensure that this happens. We have to train our leaders to be able to recognize signs of stress and support well-being. We also have to provide access to counseling, wellness programs, and health initiatives for our leaders. And our leaders need to develop policies for well-being initiatives. And of course, assistance for feedback. There has to be feedback. How is the program going? Can we tweak it? Can we make it better? And obviously, let's champion well-being initiatives as leaders. Let's support our leaders when they do. You see, sometimes one of the challenges with this well-being thing is that in Africa, for example, there's always that, not just Africa, it's global, but Africa more especially, we normally don't pay attention to these things. Master, I came to make my money, I'm going. I don't want to talk to anybody about my problem. Please, when leaders bring these employees, please support them, because it's important for you. You may not see the need for it today, but trust me, tomorrow the need will show up.
Important. Oh, thank you so much. I am glad you mentioned the counseling bit, because gone are the days where people would come and distress their troubles on their colleagues, and before you know it, your problems is all over. It's out there. But if there's a counselor somewhere who they can trust and share their problems with, it's also a good thing. And also, as the leaders, empathy, a little bit of empathy to their employees. It's not just
you've hit the nail on the head.
Not just a routine work that you come to work, do your work, and then you go, we pay you at the end of the month. Yes, so that's very
absolutely.
Alex Ade is from Michelle Camp, watching us from YouTube. Alex, thank you for joining. And Osman too has given a contribution here. He says he's also watching from Facebook. He said, here is a scenario. Here comes a worker who approaches the boss and complains about broken hearts In fact, in tears, she requests to visit the elder sister just so she could change environment. Boss empathized with her and advised her to seek for a casual leave. She refuses to tender in the application and leaves and stay away for more than 2 weeks, okay, without making any arrangement for a colleague to assist in her absence. This is the advice the boss gave and hinted her HOD when she arrives. I can't see the rest. Yes. Okay. Osman, if you can continue. Okay, so I guess it's also contributing. Okay, the advice the boss gave and hinted the HOD when she arrived. So he didn't continue, but I'm sure he's also contributing to it. And Judith Owusu Setre also said she's also watching from YouTube. Um, yes, Judith, this is me, Evelyn. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Moving on, let me just quickly talk about the upcoming conference. The upcoming conference that Madam Emmeline will be one of the guest speakers. You don't want to miss it for anything, please. She will give us more details about employee well-being that you don't want to miss. It's happening on the it's happening in Takoradi at the let's see. Well, sorry. Takrade Western Serene Atlantic Hotel on Thursday, 27th March 2025, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then in person is 1,250 cedis. Virtual is 520. And it promises to be interactive. There will be a lot of questions you can ask. There will be panel discussions, and all your questions will be answered. So you don't want to miss it for anything. Okay. Um, so please, if it is your first time, you are welcome to join us. We are still waiting for your contributions, your perspective, and how you understand the topic employee well-being being inculcated in the organizational culture. Okay, so madam, what are some common challenges or barriers to implementing employee well-being initiatives, and how can this be addressed? Please don't give us too much detail. Maybe about one or two answers so that we can save all the juices for the upcoming conference on the 27th.
So, Evelyn, I can see that the questions you have sent me are basically maybe questions you're expecting me to do. Because in my mind, I would not have known that definitely there will be issues where you think that I won't have to answer all the questions. So when you're telling me that I should not give all, my question to you is, before I answer, are these the areas that you're expecting me to to deal with? Is that exactly what you're telling me?
Yes, these are the
Evelyn,
areas, but I also don't want you to give us all the answers.
I see. Okay, now
Yes.
that I know, I've not prepared my message. Before that, I'm going to give you this you were not expecting. Because well-being is very broad in any case. Okay,
Yeah.
so I said it earlier that in our part of the world, employees may not show interest.
Mm-hmm.
I have personally witnessed it before. Some people don't think that is necessary. I know of somebody who has been bereaved for about 4 years. They have an EAP service provider. He doesn't see any ways to talk to a psychologist. He tells you he's okay. Meanwhile, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost the spouse, lost the mom, lost the dad in a very short time,
Wow.
right? And he's been left with 2 kids.
Hmm.
It tells me that, oh, why does he have to talk to a psychologist? He doesn't see the need for it. So these are the issues we are having.
Hmm.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
what can you do? You see, what another thing I also learned was that from my experience to people, you notice that Africans prefer you call them and ask them, how are you? Let's talk. But if you wait for them to come to you, Evelyn, it may not
It will
happen.
never happen.
In fact, my colleagues and I recently found this out because we had engaged some of our client staff and they have a plethora of problems, my sister.
Wow.
And I'm like, but you people have signed on to this program for more than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Why have you not used it? They tell you maybe they because of the issues where they feel maybe anything told them, their managers will hear, and there'll be retaliation. They've had the experience for where they had to even speak up to people inside, and then it got to their managers and it wasn't easy. So the phobia. You understand? Or
Yes.
by default, they don't know you. Why should I tell my pride? I don't even know who you are. Human beings seem to want to bond before they become vulnerable with you, and I can understand that. So you have to, as HR, lead your leaders. That's your line, the leaders of the company, to learn how to initiate this conversation. Because if you wait for them, they may never tell. Because many people don't have trust issues. Do you understand me? Many people have trust issues.
Especially with employer, employee, and colleagues. It's
That's what I'm saying. It's trust in an organizational setting is very poor. So Evelyn, they will not come. So you have to engage them. You
But we
got
also know that nobody is a friend at your workplace. That you shouldn't make close friends or trust, like trust in lack of better words, trust people you work with so much. They are not your family, they are not your close friends, they are just work colleagues. So why would you want us to still trust?
Exactly. So it becomes a problem. They would not want to open up. So you have to take the initiative to show. You see, when you show me how much you care, then I know that you are a leader I can trust.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I don't care how much you know. I don't care how much you pay me. But I care how much you care.
You care.
Salaries finish. You see, Evelyn, as they're paying you on the 28th, it's finished by the 30th.
I tell you, I kid you
The
not.
value of the money is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. What money cannot buy is happiness.
Yeah.
What money cannot buy is care. What money cannot buy is authenticity. What money cannot buy is a feeling of belongingness.
Yes.
So you will see many companies that they don't pay well, but their staff are overly committed. Like, hey, are they paying you heaven and earth? No, my boss just cares. The company is like a family. Your problem is my problem. Your success is my success. When you have that mindset as a leader, you can start small and end great. And then there are many, listen, spending money to go out to take your staff to go to Akosombo, listen, Evelyn, and then using more 10 times that money to get an influencer to promote products. Which one will long-lasting effect?
I think I'll choose the first one. Going for a vacation at Akosombo. It's
But have you noticed that
when you come back, you are refreshed to work more. Yeah.
Have you noticed that companies will not blink when an influencer comes and charges them a lot of zeros?
So true.
But let HR come and request budget for team building. Hey, it's cost.
They just put it aside. It's not necessary.
Meanwhile, there's a concept in HR we call social HR, where you use your employees as ambassadors.
Okay.
These days, people use their staff to create video commercials of their company. And if you see the way the staff are happy, you're like, hey, wow, I want to come to this company, because a customer will trust and care of his or her employees. I won't talk much. Let's continue.
Please just hold this right there. We have to go for a commercial break, and we'd have to come and also answer Osman Beju's question. He has come to complete it. So Osman, please hold on right there. We'll be back, and then Madam will answer your question. Okay, thank you.
Health emergencies can be a great distraction to your company's activities. But with Apex Health Insurance, your employees will have immediate access to quality health service for themselves and their dependents. Ensuring your employees and their dependents to get them back to work healthier and stress-free like they never left. Think health, think Apex.
Financial protection for yourself, businesses, and properties remain a few of the major concerns for hardworking people like you. That is exactly why having insurance is so important. Don't we all wish for the ability to keep our expenses at the bare minimum while attaining maximum benefits? This is where KEK as your insurance broker comes in. Unfortunately, there is a common misconception that hiring a broker will drive up your insurance costs. This is just a myth. Let's debunk some of these insurance myths, shall we? 1. You have to pay insurance brokers for their services. That's not true. You do not have to pay any special fees when you use KEK as your insurance broker. Broker fees are fixed in premium quotations, and this is the way it is done all over the world. In fact, we rather work to reduce the premiums you have to pay due to our world-class negotiation skills. 2. You can do a better job managing your insurance. We at KEK Insurance Brokers are specialists who have in-depth understanding of the insurance market. We are experts in the insurance business, and we pass on this extensive knowledge and expertise to the client through competitive pricing, claims management, and the general administration of policies. So get insured today. Let KEK be the one to help you. You can reach us via social media handles or visit our offices at KEK Insurance Broking House, number 40/41 Senchi Street at Aviation Road, Airport Residential Area, Accra.
Hello, everybody. We are welcome. Welcome back to discussions. If you are just joining us, welcome as well. We'll be happy to read your comments and your perspective and your ideas on the topic being discussed. Are you also aware that we have Leadership Academy? It's happening on the 15th of March in 2025 between the ages of 6 to 19 years old. Is happening in Kumasi. It's a transforming and empowering children and adolescents by equipping them with the essential skills to become well-rounded and effective individuals, leaders. For more information, kindly log on to our social media platforms. I'm sure you get more details about the program. Thank you. Now, Osman says, so I'm asking such an employee, when she arrives, what should the boss do? I guess, madam, I need to read the question again, right? Because he didn't conclude it. So he said, here is a scenario. Here comes a worker who approaches the boss and complains about broken heart, in fact, in tears. She requests to visit the elder sister just so she could change environment. Boss empathize with her and advise her to seek for a casual leave. She refuses to tender in the application and leaves and stay away for more than 2 weeks, okay, without making any arrangement for a colleague to assist in her absence. This is the advice the boss gave and hinted her HOD when she arrives. So he's asking, what I'm asking, when she arrives, what should the boss do?
Please ask the question again. I didn't quite get it.
So he's saying that a lady had broken heart and she requested for 2 weeks leave, but the boss told her to send an application to her HOD, which she didn't, left. So he's asking that now that the lady has arrived back to the office, what should the boss do? I guess that is what he wants to know.
So the boss is not aware that she has had an emotional breakdown.
The boss is aware, but the HOD is not aware. Right.
So the boss asked her to write a leave, apply for leave.
To the HOD.
She didn't, and she came to the office.
Yes.
And did the boss ask her why she didn't apply?
No, he didn't. So now Osman is asking, what should the boss do? Because she didn't inform her immediate HOD, I guess, and she just left. So let's say maybe there's the manager or the CEO. She informed the CEO, but she didn't inform her immediate boss, which is the HOD, head of department.
But how can she inform her CEO and not inform her line manager and leave? That is, she's broke policy. Yes. You cannot do the wrong thing for the right reason. So the boss should raise the red flag and insist she comes back and do the right thing. That's it.
Okay. So there is no leave for
it's not approved. That leave cannot be approved. It's illegal because the CEO cannot break powers just because he's a CEO. It doesn't work like that. Okay, he has, every right has a level of responsibility, but you can't
Okay.
abuse your power, and that is
Okay.
abuse of power. If that
Yes.
thing should go anywhere, I don't think that case can be won legally. I don't know. I beg to differ, but I don't
Differ.
think that it is the right thing to do. To not encourage a working environment that is positive, it's going to encourage toxicity, and there will be no trust between the line manager and the lady. It's not going to work.
Mm. So, what do you think would be the worst punishment for the employee?
I don't normally like to use the word punishment. I think correction is the word I would
Correction.
say.
Okay.
So she should be called back. HR should call her back to come back,
Okay.
realign her, and then give query her, find out why she did what she did. For probably there was an issue that happened and we don't know. So query her. Then when she gives her feedback, according to policy, respond. That's it.
Okay. Hi, Osman. I hope Madam has answered your question. Please, if there is any more thing you'd like to add, let us know. And he says, no, please. She has already stayed away for more than 2 weeks. So, oh, I see. she has overstayed her leave. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so usually what I would do as HR, if I was still in the corporate world, I would call her myself and find out what the problem is and
Okay.
investigate the matter. Some people have serious mental health issues. They can't even follow principle.
Right.
It's bad. It can't be aligned. So that's why I won't use the word punish.
Mm.
Correct. Because until I know that the person meant to do harm by what he or she did, I can't use the word punish because I don't know the whole issue of the story. Just because
Yes.
somebody similarly has flouted the policy doesn't mean that I need to crack the whip without first of all showing empathy. So before you crack the whip, show empathy to them to be sure that your knowledge of what the person has done is true, or the person has really intentionally flouted policy. But if you don't investigate and maybe there's something else you don't know that has happened, for you care, what if the lady has in a coma and you don't know she's in the hospital? What
Mm-hmm.
if she's in a state of depression and she's about to kill herself?
Mm-hmm.
Let the HR immediately find out, call it an emergency line. And then normally when you fill it form, you have to provide next of kin or an emergency contact. Call that number, investigate the matter, and then the HR should know what to do.
Okay. Yeah. So Osman, if we keep going on, he sees those the query and emotions, what happens? So I'm sure the HR will definitely know what to do. If the HR
Absolutely.
has empathy, we definitely will know what to do. Hello, Michael. You see, Michael is watching from Kumasi. Michael, you are welcome. And Alpha Tete also from Facebook says channel of communication. What do you mean by that, though? Kindly explain further. Okay. Okay. Thank you all for joining. All right. So, Madam, please, what are some of the effective ways to communicate the importance of employee well-being to employees and its stakeholders?
Communicating employee well-being. Um, First of all, policy. Okay,
Policy.
if
Okay.
your policy shows that you are interested in well-being of your staff, why not? It will be clear. There are
Mm,
companies that know that as for a company there, it's normal. So they're enjoying themselves, they love working.
mm,
So the policy must be clearly stated. When the policy is set, then there has to be communication. So usually when team leaders or leaders of companies write their newsletters or during their staff meetings, or some people call it town hall meetings, or when they're sending emails, even your email signatures can even have a commitment to employee well-being message. All right, you
mm.
can write it like that.
Right. Okay.
So just spreading company-wide messages. Let your corporate department, your PR department know that this is an aspect of your employer brand. So they should make sure they communicate it. And then make sure that you go beyond lip service to action.
Okay.
Beyond lip service to action, please. Whatever is in policy and it's going to benefit the staff, let it be actualized. Okay. And then when you now, and then I said earlier, please, in developing or planning your well-being strategy, please, or well-being program, engage your staff. What kind
Aha.
of well-being program is
Yes.
important to you?
Mhm.
I beg. Please, very
Hey,
important. Thank you.
this one that you are begging, it is so important.
Hey, it's important. If not,
Those
you
are
see,
what-
it's so painful that you will cook for your family and they'll tell you to eat it.
I don't like it. Or the food is not
Hey,
nice.
it's painful. Well, so please, what would you love to eat? We have option A, B, and C. Please choose one. Simple.
Simple.
You know,
Hey,
there are many companies where they think that they are doing well with their staff. They don't understand why their staff are not happy. Let me give you an example. So you have a staff who the person has rent problems. Rent issue every year. The landlord is always threatening the person because the salary cannot pay the rent on time. Then the company decides that, so as part of our concern for our staff, we are introducing benefits for staff to be able to go and watch movies at the end of the month for free.
for
Hey,
free. I
please,
don't need movie.
I don't need movie. I
I
need to
don't
pay
need
rent. You get where I'm coming from. You see, you need to make your compensation system need based.
movie.
If not, you waste your time. If a
Right.
woman is married, what does she need a singles hangout event for?
Yes.
She doesn't need it.
See that.
Or a single person who's not dating, what does the person need a couples hangout for? No. It's you're not matching the needs properly. And when needs don't meet, when you don't meet needs, you don't motivate the person.
Yes.
So the person doesn't have a home to stay. Hierarchy, Maslow hierarchy of needs: home, shelter, feeding, clothing. You don't give this person the person, come, let's plan the future of the company for our benefits. Please, I'm hungry. I can't think.
You can't think. You can't think
So prioritize your well-being program according to the needs of your team.
of your
Simple and
team.
short.
But so what if we have a larger team and everybody has different interests?
So normally what happens is that you do a survey and then you
Okay.
pick the most, you put them in groups, put the needs in groups, and then you
Okay.
create packages and say,
Okay.
okay, if you want to just tell them choose the ones you want. You obviously will have them in silos, like you have them in packages like that.
Right.
And create packages accordingly.
Okay. Okay.
You see,
Okay.
give options. You
Yes.
allow, it's like a buffet. Give people
Mm-hmm.
options of wellness programs.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to skydive. I don't like heights.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me those activity, I'm not interested. If you take me to a place where I have to hike and walk, I won't go because when I walk for a long, I have knee issues. I will
Yes.
come back more frustrated. Except I wear my knee brace because I had an accident years ago, right? I have a
Yes.
knee brace, but I don't have a knee brace, and then you make me walk. Problem for you. You're going to have to now spend money on medication.
Hmm.
So let's tell people to enjoy swimming. I don't like swimming. I haven't learned how to swim yet. So if you tell me, oh, you're having a swimming day out today, I won't be interested. But tell me, oh, we are going out. I love watching movies. I
Mm-hmm.
love games. I love
Mm-hmm.
dancing.
Dance.
I
Yes.
love, yes, I love
Dance.
singing.
Because people want to learn how to dance, so we kind of make the
Of
whole thing
course,
fun. Yeah.
definitely. So I love the painting, those sip and paint, or molding clay and all. Yeah, those things are the things that make my mind think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
please, yeah, don't make one size fits all. It won't work.
Happy is interesting. Happy says is very the conversation is very interesting. Yes, it is very interesting. That is why you have to register for the upcoming conference and you will hear more from Madam. She will go detail, she will dive deep into the topic and you will really enjoy it. So you have to register. It's happening in Takoradi on the 27th. So come on board and come and learn, come and relearn, learn and unlearn all the things that you need to do to inculcate in the HR and employee well-being. Thank you so much, Madam. You are really making this interesting. I'm also equally learning a lot from it from you.
Glad you are.
So, moving forward, I would like to know how can organizations prepare for the changing nature of work and its impact on employee well-being?
This question. So you are talking about the future of work
Yes,
or changing nature of work? Which of the two?
changing nature of work and its impact on employee well-being. Like, as how
So
can they prepare for the for the changing nature?
The
Because
truth is that when you say changing nature of work, it's the
okay,
same as the future of work, because changing.
okay,
So, the present is not the same tomorrow.
yes,
You get it?
yes,
So
I get
it's the
it.
same. Now,
Hmm.
so first you want to understand what are the what goes into when we say changing nature of work, which becomes the future of work, because future is just sentence, isn't it?
Yes.
Because our English is almost disappearing. Now, first of all, in any organization, to be prepared for change, your policies cannot be rigid,
Okay.
because if you are rigid, then you can't change.
Hmm.
Implement flexible working policies. I know African leaders don't like to hear this, but the way we are going, you need to allow your team have options.
Yes.
We're not saying they should stay completely away,
Mm-hmm.
because we've seen the negative impact of 100% remote work.
Yes.
It's not like me, I don't care. Me, I love remote work rough,
Hmm.
because I socialize. I have 10 days I socialize. But there are people who don't know how to socialize. If you leave them to remote work alone, it's a problem.
Mm.
So
Mm.
know your people, and then understand how even these flexible options work for them.
Okay. Okay.
Then flexible hours. Don't let them do 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 5. Why? Mix it up. Mix it up.
Yes.
Find ways to do it. Obviously, technology.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
Wow.
another issue.
Hmm.
Mm?
Mm-hmm.
Technology is something we can't run away. So please train your employees to know how to use technology. An employee said when a new mode of work comes and he or she can't use it, it
Yes.
affects their mental health.
Mm. Mm.
So as work is changing, please upskill, upskill. So you can, those employers that cry that training is expensive, I'm sorry, you're going to keep training, because work is changing. So please, finally, never ever stop collecting feedback from my employees. Our culture in Ghana thing suggests that you don't listen to the people below. It's not true. That is a very wrong African belief. We need to change it.
Yes.
Everybody has something to offer. Everybody, even animals, have some advice for you in the way they behave.
Mm. It's
So
true.
every human being is important. Regular feedback,
Feedback.
regular feedback is
Okay.
important.
Okay. Okay. So the way some of our leaders think and the way they are strict in their thinking and their mindset. How can we really initiate? How can they initiate this understanding into their workplace, their organization? Because I say, I've sweat to open to open this company. I'm this, I'm that. There's lack of money and all that. You're just concentrating on getting the product or productivity for they are not really thinking about their well-being. So like I'm asking, how can we initiate or how can they get to understand the real importance of employee well-being?
We said it earlier that a leader who doesn't take care of him or herself will not see the reason why the employee should be fine. I think that all of us who are in this business, employee, we need to target the leaders of businesses more, because
Okay.
when the owners of businesses are our ambassadors, that's it.
Yeah.
Providing that support for them is very
Okay.
key.
Mm.
They might not see the need to invest in it. I mean, some of them do what call executive coaching.
Mm.
And what executive coaches can do is to also lead this narrative when they are giving them this career coaching, letting them
Okay.
know that, listen, you need to be okay. You work
Yes.
too hard, don't
Yes.
rest. You are pursuing zeros too much, but you're not pursuing your mental health. What is your emotional temperature? You keep checking, oh, I'm okay, I'm not sick, I'm not hot. But emotionally, are you okay?
Mm.
And this is the thing. I want to use this platform to say this.
Okay.
Successful people are more vulnerable to emotional issues.
Wow.
You see, because you are pursuing a vision, you get it, you are using a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
You are giving yourself to human beings, you are giving yourself to public eye.
Yes.
When that happens, human beings are human beings. Somebody that doesn't like that you're succeeding,
Right.
Evelyn has to go down. I must pull her down.
Yes.
Huh? Family members, you can't prosper, you must go down. Your friend, jealousy, you must go down.
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Yes.
Everybody is after you. Everybody is after your success. That is
Okay.
emotionally draining because
Yes.
you have come out to talk about you. And when people do that, it drains you. You see,
Yes.
then you have family issues because you
Yes.
are busy. The energy you need for your family because of work challenges, you don't have the energy to focus on your family, who are the most important. The wife is complaining. The
Mm-hmm.
last time the wife went on a date now with the husband, she can't remember.
In Ghana, you
Phone
enjoy
call.
to talk about it.
If the husband cry when you want to talk to him, baby, I'm busy. I'll call you back.
Okay, you
That's
never
it.
call back.
He never calls back. He comes back late. You can't have a nice talking time. Wada. Men more often than not, they even sleep before as you are giving them the your day. Oh, away
They already
bus.
gone.
They're sleeping. And it's their body.
Yes.
Are you see where I'm going to, my sister?
Yes, I
This is
get you.
why I think leadership well-being should be prioritized. People
Yes.
who are, and when I say leadership, they're not just the owners, those head of departments, the executive management, the senior management team, they carry a lot of burden on their head, and they
Right.
all don't know how to balance family and work.
Work.
Please give your people, if you're an employer, make it compulsory for your leaders to have vacation once a year with the family. Make it compulsory.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
using this that platform to say it.
Say it, please. Yeah,
Because
let's.
if you don't make it compulsory, they won't go. Men
Mm-hmm.
naturally want to achieve something. They're naturally vocational.
Mm.
There are many relationships suffering today because of men who are go-getters, and they have energy on pursuing their career, and most of them even lose relationships.
Okay. Mm.
Divorce is on the rise,
Yes.
broken heart is on the rise, singleness is on the rise. And I'm not saying it's bad, but potential people that can be together cannot be together because
Mm.
of these things.
Mm.
And Evelyn, what we don't know is that every human being is dealing with one type of trauma. People think trauma is only when you have an accident, you hit your head, or you've been abused physically by rape or beats. No, that is not all that gives you trauma. Oh. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
loss of a loved one.
Yeah.
Somebody you've loved so much, you plan to get married, a person breaks up with you,
The
or
point
you find
is,
your lover in bed with somebody else,
yeah.
or you grew up in a family of abuse, or you grew up in a family where nobody listens to you, nobody cares about you. You get it? There are people, there are children who, children experience stress as well.
Yes. Yes.
Children experience depression and anxiety. So there are children that grow up with that. So when they become adults, they need to fit into the society. So they do anything to just feel beloved. And when that happens, they get hurt along the way. Now, these
Right.
people have been taught by God, they've been given potential in business, in whatever they do. And because of the trauma, you see, they can't perform to their maximum level.
Oh, it's
Because of the
true.
trauma, they can't even relate with people well.
Mm.
It's a big problem that nobody is talking about.
Right.
And if
Mm.
we don't deal with, if we think, oh, it's my boss, it's not okay with the boss. It's not okay. The boss is not okay. If you know how many women are in the verge of getting divorced as we speak,
Mm.
it's not a joke.
It's a whole lot.
If we use this platform to discuss this, we will not finish today.
We will not
But
finish. We
please,
will not finish.
organizations insist on employee well-being. That's what I can
Right.
say.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so, so, so much. Please, if you are watching us, if you are a CEO, you are head of department, please, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss the conference. Madam will talk a lot about this topic. You need to be there to hear all the details of the topic. And I can assure you will never be disappointed. It's going to be insightful. You will learn a lot. So, madam, your last words, what should people expect in the conference, people who are coming. I believe people are registered and they are coming with full expectation or high expectations. Please tell us what to expect on the D-Day.
What can I say? Listen, we cannot underestimate our feelings. Oh, work happiness. Don't let anybody, I won't let it disturb me cry. No. The moment you say, I won't let it disturb me cry, it's disturbing you. Deal with it. Get help. Every little inconvenience, every little discomfort matters.
Yes.
And it's okay not to be okay.
Okay.
All right? It's okay not to be okay. What it means is that if you're not okay, there is a solution. Find a healthy person to speak to. Find a healthy professional to talk to. And I'm still recommending Supreme Healthcare Management Services. We are the Roman Reach Shopping Arcade. Find us there. We'll support you.
Okay.
Not say that you are going to be, oh, don't worry, I work is important. Forget my personal life. You will be useless to that boss of yours. You will never achieve your highest potential. Please.
Wow.
A healthy mind is a healthy life.
Thank you so much, madam. Yes, Portia says, Portia Manu from YouTube, she says, thanks, Miss Date. I wish our CEOs are listening. We shall get there. Of course, they are listening. We are still in the process of making that huge change. Thank you so much, madam. This is so insightful. I've learned a lot. So I would like to talk about the conference one more time. It's happening in Takoradi, Westin Serene Atlantic Hotel on Thursday, 27th March 2025 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you want more of this, please register. In person is 1,250 and virtual is 550 Ghana cedis. You don't want to miss it. As you can see how passionate Madam is really talking about this topic. You don't want to miss it. You have to be there to hear all the gist and all the details. And I'm sure when you come back, your company will be one of the best productive company, and you will never regret coming. Okay, so I'm your host and I'm Evelyn Iraja Jumbo. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, Pearls Swatson, thank you too. Madam was great. And Abena Prempe from LinkedIn said fantastic insights. Thank you always, Emmeline, and thank you, Sedat, for bringing our most needful resource person. Thank you for watching too, and thank you for joining. And for everyone who didn't comment but who also watched, we say thank you for watching and thank you for joining. We would see you next time. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Health emergencies can be a great distraction to your company's activities. But with Apex Health Insurance, your employees will have immediate access to quality health service for themselves and their dependents. Ensuring your employees and their dependents to get them back to work healthier and stress-free like they never left. Think health, think Apex.
Financial protection for yourself, businesses, and properties remain a few of the major concerns for hardworking people like you. That is exactly why having insurance is so important. Don't we all wish for the ability to keep our expenses at the bare minimum while attaining maximum benefits? This is where KEK as your insurance broker comes in. Unfortunately, there is a common misconception that hiring a broker will drive up your insurance costs. This is just a myth. Let's debunk some of these insurance myths, shall we? 1. You have to pay insurance brokers for their services. That's not true. You do not have to pay any special fees when you use KEK as your insurance broker. Broker fees are fixed in premium quotations, and this is the way it is done all over the world. In fact, we rather work to reduce the premiums you have to pay due to our world-class negotiation skills. 2. You can do a better job managing your insurance. We at KEK Insurance Brokers are specialists who have in-depth understanding of the insurance market. We are experts in the insurance business, and we pass on this extensive knowledge and expertise to the client through competitive pricing, claims management, and the general administration of policies. So get insured today. Let KEK be the one to help you. You can reach us via social media handles or visit our offices at KEK Insurance Broking House, number 40/41 Senchi Street at Aviation Road, Airport Residential Area, Accra.